Council, City Manager. I am excited about introducing you to our 2015 graduates for the Citizens Academy. We have actually 17. This is our largest group. We normally average about 12. They are an interesting group on top of that. This is the 7th year, can you believe it? So I'm going to ask the mayor to come down and join me so he can help me give out these wonderful certificates. And our first graduate is Heather Fawcett. Okay. We have Kwani Jones. And then we have Brandy Brown. Then we have Heidi Baumgartner. Then we have Thomas Baumgartner. Natasha Cheney. I don't think Natasha's here tonight. Natasha's in the chemistry department. We have Robin Diggs. Constant Finch. Ryan Hitchcock. Michelle Hitzelberger. Angela James. Sharon Jones.
You know, hey, you're in trouble. Good to see you.
We have Ken Newbill. Kim Powell. Susan Bradford. Carl Smart. And Gerald Walls, our safety. So to present to you our 2015 graduates.
Well, thank you so much for your interest in the city, and I really hope that you have gained a lot of experience and really somewhat way in how the cities operate and why we do some things we do. Maybe, I hope so. And I'm glad that you got your PhDs now. You can go out, most any city and take care of business. But on a serious note, thank y'all for your interest and thank you for what you've done. As Ms. Reed said, this is the largest class we've had. And certainly it's great that you folks will come out and give you time and participate and just take time to really look in a little deeper just what the city does to try to serve our citizens. So once again, thank y'all so much. Council, y'all have anything you want to say?
You said it all, Mayor.
Said it all. All right.
Congratulations. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. Bye, Hoppy.
You don't have to.
No, they actually feed. They're feeding them. smell food.
At this time, the city and council would like to recognize the Marine Corps, being their birthday on November the 10th. We'd like to recognize them with a proclamation. Sergeant, if you join me, sir. At this time, I'd like to read the proclamation. Whereas the city of Monroe recognized November 10th, 2015 as a Marine Corps Day in Monroe in honor of the United States Marine Corps 240th anniversary of its founding. And whereas on November 10th, 1775, the Second Continental Congress met in Philadelphia, passed a resolution calling for two battalions of Marines to be raised for service as a landing forces with the fleet. Whereas the resolution established the Continental Marines and marked the birthday of the United States Marine Corps. Whereas since its first amphibious raid on March 3rd, 1776, the United States Marine Corps has fought with great courage on every continent and every conflict in America. And whereas Marines truly embody the motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which translates from Latin as always faithful, and signifies the defense of freedom and democracy worldwide. Whereas today the Marine Corps is a separate branch of the United States Armed Forces, it distinguishes itself as an expedition air force ready to respond on the ground, in the air, and by the sea. Whereas there are nearly 200,000 individuals currently listed in the Marine Corps and roughly 40,000 reserve members. Whereas the Marine Corps Order Number 47, Series 192, written by Major Commander General John A. Lejeune, established a mandatory celebration of the Marine Corps anniversary. Whereas raising the flag on Iwo Jima, the famous photograph by Joe Rosdell will always symbolize the triumph and glory of the Marine Corps. Now therefore I, Bobby Kilgore, by the virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Monroe, do hereby proclaim the United States Marine Corps a vital part of the city of Monroe community, and encourage all citizens to express appreciation and support for their anniversary and for their service to our country. And witness hereunto set my hand and call the seal of the city of Monroe will be affixed this third day of November 2015. Sergeant, I'd like to present this to you. Say thank you for your service to the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps has always been ready to land, sea, and air, and we know that. And this is why we're free today, is not only the Marine Corps, but the entire branch, all branches of the service. And we want to thank all branches of the service for what they've done for, not the city of Monroe, but what they've done for the United States and the world. Because this goes boundary to boundary. We would not be able to stand here and be free and say what we want, to do the proclamation, if it wasn't for the men in uniform. And also, I want to say at this time, we want to thank the families of the men in uniform.
And women.
Because they're on the home front, keeping the fire burning for the guys who in harm's way. So thank you again. We appreciate your service.
Thank you, as one of the recruiters and supervisors for the Marines here in Monroe. It's my honor to be part of the city. My mom actually went to Monroe High School a while back. I won't date her age. But it's nice to be back in town and be able to help out in any way we can. So thanks again, Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you for your service again.
Happy birthday, Marine.
Right.
It's all about the service that the folks provide to keep us free, the ladies and the men and all who do the fighting. And I was corrected about that. That's why I got the ladies involved in that. But thank you once again. We appreciate you coming up. Did I leave my line out there? Let me go back and get the agenda. I left it out. I'm so excited. Okay, Mr. Larry, consent agenda at this time, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. The City Council uses a consent agenda to consider items that are non-controversial and routine. The consent agenda is acted upon by one motion and vote of council. Items may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on a regular agenda at the request of a council member or citizen with the consent of council. The consent agenda contains the following items, and there are 4 items on the consent agenda, beginning with item 3, which is approval and acceptance of minutes and reports, and there's 7 sets of minutes. Item 3G is disbursement of of fiscal year 2015-2016 City Council discretionary funds. The council members are provided $3,000 each on an annual basis for disbursement at their discretion towards items that meet the public purpose definition of permitted items that a municipality is authorized to perform. And there was a singular disbursement involving Councilmember Anthony for $1,616 for attendance at the National League of Cities Congress of Cities Conference. Item 3H is notification of award of contract for a 2-ton flatbed truck for Engineering Department's Street Division. And that's for the purpose of complying with Section 34.01, the Monroe City Code, which requires city staff to report to council the bid tabulation and acceptance of the bids, less than $100,000. Charlotte Truck Center was the low bidder in the amount of $87,760. Item 4 under consent is a budget amendment for performance increase for code enforcement officers, and it's for the purpose of funding a proposed salary adjustment that recognizes additional job duties of the code enforcement personnel as it relates to adding field enforcement activities associated with the recently enacted solid waste ordinances and provisions. And normally this would be a matter that would be determined by the city manager and my staff. However, there were insufficient funds in that operating department, and therefore it was referred to city council. Item 5 under consent is a resolution to report, confirm, and enter into city council minutes settlement of workman's compensation claims for Sergeant James Hughes. This is for the purpose of reporting the terms of this settlement between Sergeant Hughes and the city, which totaled $70,000 less payment to his attorneys pursuant to the North Carolina Industrial Commission's Deputy Commissioner's order, which is also set forth enforcing a portion of the settlement agreement pertaining to the workman's comp claim for which the commission had jurisdiction over. The other elements of the settlement agreement which Sergeant Hughes had agreed to include resigning and dismissing or withdrawing his claims from the EEOC and the North Carolina Department of Labor. The claim with the Department of Labor has not reached a final determination or decision. Item 6 under consent is surplus equipment for Water Resources Department, the Construction Division, and 2-part item, declaration of a 1999 Link Belt excavator as surplus equipment and the associated budget amendment. And this is for the purpose of declaring the excavator as surplus property to allow its sale for $66,000 and change, and to appropriate those funds into the water construction capital account for equipment purchases. This piece of equipment had been slated for disposal due to its underutilization. The trade-in value was approximately $18,000, so staff really struck home a home run, getting a bid for $66,000. That concludes the synopsis of the items considered for consent.
Okay. Any questions? We have none. We go to the regular agenda, item 7.
Need a motion.
Motion. I have a motion. Motion consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Item 7, regular agenda.
All right, Mayor, that's back to me. During council's discussion on October 20th, city council meeting, council members expressed a concern over the use of discretionary funds in addition to the travel funds allocated to board members. Staff was asked to review and present options for council's consideration. City staff identified 2 options for council's consideration, option A and option B. Option A is amending the travel policy to state that the council's discretionary funds could not be used for mayor or council travel without council's prior approval. Option B combines the travel and discretionary funds budgets so that the mayor and council members have the discretion to use the combined fund for appropriate public purposes, including travel. Each of these 2 options contain distinctly different sets of amendments to the existing policies known as GA-02, elected travel, and GA-15 or 15, discretionary funds and purchasing policy, which merges those 2 concepts into one policy and repeals GA-12, which was for the discretionary fund policy. In regards to travel funds allotted for the board, council members, except for the mayor and mayor pro tem, receive an annual allocation of $4,000. The mayor receives $6,000 annually, and the mayor pro tem $5,000 annually for travel. Separate from that, from travel that is, there's a $3,000 amount allocated for discretionary expenditures for each member, mayor and mayor pro tem. If option B is selected, the effect is council members would have a discretionary fund or a budget of $7,000 each. The mayor's combined discretionary fund would be $9,000. Mayor Pro Tem's combined discretionary fund would be $8,000. The amount available for this fiscal year would be reduced by the corresponding amount a member has dispersed from their travel and discretionary budgets from July 1st, the beginning of the fiscal year, through the effective date of adoption that would change these policies. That is, if option B was selected. Staff requests the council provide direction on which option it would select and the effective dates of those changes. Again, option A excludes the use of discretionary funds for travel purposes. Option B combines travel and discretionary fund budgets. If the board was so inclined to accept either of those two options, A or B, referring to that lettered option in the form of a motion would incorporate the amendments associated with the concept of excluding the use of discretionary funds for travel or combining travel and discretionary budgets for each member's use. And at this point, we're asking for your direction on these matters, whether it's option A, option B, or some other direction.
Mayor, I move that we adopt option A.
Option A. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Mayor, before you vote on it, one other thing staff would also like is when the effective day of the changes would be. And as we put in the staff report, either you could do it immediately, January 1 or July 1 for next fiscal year. So we do need that so that we can modify the policies accordingly and so that we have a date to say this is when it goes forward.
Okay.
I would say immediately.
I have a motion. Still have the same second?
Yes.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Any opposed? No, ma'am. Okay. This time is public comment period. Is anyone here who would like to address the council? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All in favor? We adjourn. Thank you very much.
Bridget. Somebody's coming.